Williams back into the conversation, okay? Because as Zion Williamson continues to rehab from surgery on his right knee, yesterday he was speaking to reporters, said he's getting stronger, but gave no indication of when he's going to return. Here's what he said about his recovery.
It's going very well. Day by day, getting better, and I think it's going very well. It's a long season. This isn't like college or something where it's 30 games. It's 82 games, so I don't really see a need to rush back. I'm not out forever, so my mindset is just come back stronger, come back better, so I can help my team.
Okay, so there's Zion. Obviously, you know him well. When he is ready to return, how would you handle the situation?
Load manage.
Oh, I can't take it.
Load manage.
I can't take it. I can't.
Why not?
He's a rookie. He is a rookie.
Tell me more.
Listen, this is as
Tell
simple
me more
as
so I can talk sense into you after you're done.
If we have to load manage rookies, I understand he has a knee. If you want to say to me, well, when he first comes back for a couple of weeks, but if you're telling me that a 19-year-old person cannot walk into the NBA and play all of the games, then I'm telling you there are too many games. It is that simple.
Well, it's not every 19-year-old. It's Zion Williamson, who's a freak of nature, who's 285 pounds.
People are telling David Fizdale to load manage R.J. Barrett.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I'm not load managing R.J. Barrett. He can play every single game. But Zion Williamson is a different scenario. He's 285 pounds. He's 6'6". And he tore his meniscus. His meniscus is a shock absorber in your knee ligament. For a guy who's already knock-knee, Greeny, his biggest attribute is his jumping ability.
Yeah.
Right? So my thing is on back-to-backs, I don't need him if he's tired trying to bang over the top of people. I need to monitor that because he's an asset that I need to get the return on my investment in. I would load manage him this year. Next year, go play. But I want him to finish the year healthy. Only for this year.
Okay. The unique circumstance of his knee, I will accept. And this has been something that you and I have talked about going back to his stardom at Duke, that with his frame, there are going to be some questions. But is there not a point, and let's take Zion out of the discussion, at which this load management thing has got to become a problem, at which fans are just going to say, you know what, if I can't count on the notion that these stars are going to play.
We're the ones making it a problem.
It is a problem.
We in the media are the ones making this way bigger than what it is. And I understand that load management applies to who? Kawhi Leonard, who's missed 2 games.
Right.
Who else? LeBron, maybe a couple times.
All of the biggest stars in the league. It applies to all of them. If they don't play, the fans are going to be disappointed.
All these guys have played pretty much. Like, when have we talked about load management with
We're only
Giannis?
2 weeks into the season.
It's only with Kawhi.
How could anyone be tired already?
It's only with Kawhi. It's only with Kawhi. I hear you on Kawhi.
Yes.
I hear your frustration with Kawhi Leonard. This has been going on for years with Kawhi Leonard. Spurs, Toronto, you know what this is with Kawhi. I understand. I hear it with the LeBron James a little bit. I don't really hear it with anybody else. So I understand we're making this thing really big with them, but it's isolated. That's it.
At some point, we have to just figure out how everyone got so tired all of a sudden. I mean, we've been playing this game for 70 years.
Pitchers count, right?
What's that?
Minutes restrictions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've always used these terminologies, but all of a sudden load management just incites this negative response. It's always been the case. It's always been the case.
All right. Blazers and Clippers last night, and Kawhi Leonard returned to the floor after sitting out Wednesday. He scored 18 of his 27 in the fourth quarter in the Clippers' win. But before the game, the NBA fined the Clippers $50,000 for comments made by Coach Doc Rivers that were, quote, inconsistent with Kawhi's health. Rivers had told reporters Wednesday that Kawhi felt great, but the NBA concluded that this statement was not consistent with details of Leonard's knee injury. If I could just very quickly recap all the things that happened here for you. They don't want him to play because they don't want him to hurt the knee. The NBA wants to say his knee is hurt because they don't want him to be resting if he's fully healthy. Kawhi now is bent out of shape that they announced publicly the details of the injury, and they fined the franchise $50,000. Bottom line of all this, Jay Williams joins us this morning. What do you make of this next chapter in this load management saga?
Well, if you're gonna lie about this situation, you have to be consistent with your lying throughout the entire course. It's like me playing hooky from work, Greeny, and saying that I'm sick, and then taking a picture of myself out with my boys partying that night and posting it on the internet. You can't fib on yourself, and I think that's what the Clippers did here. You can't say he feels great if you held him out of last game. We all know what they're doing, but you have to still abide through the NBA's rules.
Yes, you know what? I totally feel for the NBA's role in this, and I'm on their side completely because down deep in their hearts, I believe the people making these decisions in the New York offices of the NBA are on my side of this debate. They don't want these guys sitting out these games, and they can't just tell the world, yeah, this game isn't important enough because we want Kawhi Leonard to be healthy when we get to the end. But at the end of the day, it's a charade, right? We know it's a charade. He obviously could have played the other night. So if you're going to fine him $50,000, I guess it doesn't make that much difference.
No, it doesn't. And what's $50,000 in the big scheme of things with a team like that?
The owner of that
Steve
team
Ballmer,
is worth
exactly.
$20 billion.
It's like, great, we'll take $50,000.
He has $50,000 right now in the cushions of his couch. At the end of the day, this is just the way it's going to be all year long, right? With a guy like Kawhi. Maybe he's not the perfect example, though. Is this something we're going to see all across the league?
I think it's going to be something we're going to see with Kawhi. I think it's also going to be something we may see with guys like LeBron James may have to do this later on throughout the season. Like, do you want LeBron James in this stage of his career to try to play 82 games? I'm not sure that's in your best interest. We also have a rookie that we may talk about doing this with later, which I know you're going to blow your mind, but still, we're going to talk about it.
Wait until you hear the fight that we're going to have coming up on the show. We're load managing rookies in the NBA.
You'll see.
I have an idea. Schedule 92 games. These guys will then play 82 games, and everything will be absolutely fine. We have just randomly
Back in the lineup tonight for his Clippers, who play host to the Blazers. One day after Kawhi sat out their game against the Bucks. Lots of drama surrounding this story now, as Kawhi has sat out one game in both of the Clippers back-to-backs this season and for the past 2.5 seasons, frankly. Head coach Doc Rivers was asked about this today. Listen.
What's the plan for future back-to-backs with Kawhi?
We don't have a plan right now. You know, obviously, he hasn't played in a lot of back-to-backs. That doesn't mean he will not. But, you know, right now, early on, we're going to keep to the same plan that we've kept to so far. I think Kawhi made the statement he's never felt better. It's our job to make sure he stays that way, you know, and that's important. But he played a lot of minutes in the playoffs last year. And, you know, so it's not a health thing. Really, it is in some ways. We want him to just keep feeling better, you know, and getting better.
Doesn't sound like much is going to change there. Brian Windhorst back with us. So here's the thing. You have the NBA saying Kawhi is not healthy enough to play back-to-backs. Then you hear Doc Rivers say Kawhi says he's never felt better. What should we make of this entire situation?
Sage, my head is so spinning from this, listening to people at the NBA, listening to people with the Clippers. One says he's injured, one says he's not injured. You got Doc just in that clip saying they don't have a plan, but then they do have a plan. It is a health thing. It's not a health thing. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to push away everybody who's trying to spin me, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to evaluate Kawhi Leonard on actions, not words, because this is a man who has had a plan with his actions over the last couple of years, and he has always thought stuff out way more than we've ever thought. What I have seen in his actions is that he is not playing in back-to-backs, and when it comes to the back-to-backs here early in the season, he is just choosing to play in the lesser marquee game, okay?
Why?
Last week, because he is. That's the best answer that I can give, because I've listened to all these explanations, and I reject them all, okay? Now, next week, we have another back-to-back on national TV at Houston, on the road at a weak and not very strong defensively New Orleans team. If he sticks with this procedure, he'll skip the national television game and he'll play in New Orleans. But we do have next week things could change because Paul George could be back, so we'll see. But that's where I'm at right now, and we'll have to see how that happens. But I'm not listening to any more ridiculous explanations.
No, I don't blame you, but if he's not playing in them early in the season, why would he as the season goes on towards the playoffs? Okay, we'll see. The other big story tonight in the NBA is Kemba Walker returning to Charlotte to face his former team for the first time as a Celtic. Spent the first 8 years of his career in Charlotte. He's the Hornets' all-time leading scorer. He was asked today how he thinks he'll be received by his former home crowd.
Oh, nothing but positive things. I mean, I hope. I don't think I did anything wrong, you know what I mean? I did an interview yesterday, and he asked me the same question, and I don't even know why that question should even brought up. It should be brought up, honestly. I think it should be all positive. I'm just going with the flow. Obviously, I'm really excited to be back, to see all of my old friends, my old teammates, the people who work in this building to keep this building up.
They loved him in Charlotte. They certainly miss him there. Wendy, the Celtics enter tonight at 5-1. Kemba's playing really well, averaging 26 points per game, his highest of his career. It's early. But what are people saying about Boston's chances in the East now with him?
Yeah, and Gordon Hayward's coming off the highest scoring game of his career. But when you talk to scouts and executives, they believe that the Celtics' success this season will not come down to Kemba. It'll come down to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They're two young guys. Those guys' improvement is going to determine where they get this season. That's what we're going to be watching all year. But tonight is Kemba's night.
By the way, Celtics again expecting to get Jalen back after missing the last 3 games because of an infection in his leg. So things trending upward for the Boston Celtics. Brian Windhorst, thank you.